Extra, extra! Read all about it! Jackie Robinson makes baseball history!
So today we're going to talk about a hero named Jackie Robinson. Now, Jackie Robinson made history in April 1947, but his story starts way before that. In 1919, January of 1919, Jack Roosevelt Robinson was born in Cairo, Georgia. Now, he was born to a mother and father, but Jackie's father left when Jackie was only a few months old. Jackie's mother, fearing the worst for her family in Georgia, moved them west to Pasadena, California in 1920. But the best was yet to come because the Robinson family still faced threats in their neighborhood because of the color of their skin. Jackie was just like most kids, though. He loved sports. He loved dodgeball. He loved foursquare. He loved all the sports that he could play. And not only did he love sports, he was great at them, too. Jackie Robinson was a star athlete at the University of California, Los Angeles, also known as UCLA. He was a football hero, but he was also the first to star in 4 different sports: track and field, basketball, football, and baseball. Jackie left UCLA in 1941 to play football professionally with the Honolulu Bears, which were one of the only teams that would accept him because of the color of his skin. But in 1942, Jackie Robinson was drafted into the Army. Now, when we talk about the 1940s, the United States that we know was very different than it is now. The country we know was segregated into 2 main groups: black people and white people. Black people weren't allowed to do many of the things that white people were because of hate and prejudice. African Americans or black people weren't allowed to eat at the same restaurants, drink from the same drinking fountains, stay at the same hotels, or even sometimes live in the same places as the white Americans. Jackie Robinson experienced this even in the days in his army. They wouldn't let him play on the baseball team in the army, and there were issues with his superior officers saying he was being disrespectful, even to the point of taking him to a military trial known as a court-martial because of his behavior. When he was found to be innocent of what they were accusing him of, he still chose to leave the army. Baseball was also different in the 40s. Today we have 1 major league for baseball, as well as many multiple minor leagues and independent leagues, but in the 40s there were 2 major leagues and 1 minor league. There was Major League Baseball and the Negro League Baseball. Negro League Baseball was made up of players who weren't allowed to be in Major League Baseball because of the color of their skin. Now, players in major leagues were well paid, well fed. They were treated like kings. They got to stay in the best hotels. They got fans praising them wherever they went. Negro League players were not. They had to sleep in their cars a lot of times because hotels wouldn't serve them. Restaurants wouldn't serve them, so they were hungry a lot of the time. But they were all very talented players. Jackie Robinson is one of the many players who played in both the Negro Leagues and the Major Leagues. Now, not all Americans felt that way. Many Americans knew that segregation and prejudice were wrong, but few dared to fight it. One of the people who did dare to fight it was the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Branch Rickey. Branch Rickey knew that some of the best players in the world weren't on the Major League team. He wanted to put the best team he could put together on the field, regardless of what his players looked like. He knew that he needed someone special to help with this, so he began searching. Branch Rickey knew that this player that he chose was going to have to be tough. He knew that whatever player he chose was going to have to be able to endure threats on his life and attempts to injure him from fans and the other team. He knew that this player would need to be strong enough not to give in and fight back when other players tried to intimidate or hurt him, because this would give opponents an excuse to keep black players out of the major leagues for years. He thought that Jackie Robinson might just be the player he was looking for. And in 1945, Jackie Robinson signed with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Now, it wasn't all gold from there. Jackie Robinson wasn't a major league player right away. Like most players do, he spent time in the minor leagues and learning a new position. He had come up as a shortstop, but he moved to first base to help the team. In 1946, Jackie played for the Montreal Royals, the Dodgers' top minor league team. And in 1947, on April 15th, Jackie Robinson made his debut for the Brooklyn Dodgers. His first years in the majors were not easy. Many opposing fans and managers, and even some of his own teammates, were very cruel to Jackie. Ben Chapman was one notable one. He was the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. He taunted Jackie with racial slurs and threats. Eddie Stanky, one of Jackie's teammates, stood up for him, and Chapman later apologized, though a lot of people think it was just as a photo opportunity that you can see here. But Chapman said he wasn't trying to be racist. He was trying to get in the head of the Dodgers rookie because he knew he was new to the big leagues and thought he could make him play worse by taunting him and calling him horrible names. Now, Eddie Stanky wasn't Jackie's only teammate to stand up for him. Cincinnati is close to Kentucky, where Pee Wee Reese grew up, And Pee Wee Reese heard the crowd jeering and taunting Jackie and went up to put his arm around him to show that they were teammates and that he was his friend as well as his teammate. And that silenced the crowd. The crowd couldn't believe it. Jackie Robinson went on from there to have one amazing baseball career. He was named the Rookie of the Year, which is the top award for a new player in baseball, in 1947. He was named the most valuable player in baseball in 1949, and his Dodgers teams played in 6 World Series, including the win over the Yankees in 1955. Jackie Robinson will long be remembered for his accomplishments on the field, but will forever be remembered for what he meant to so many people. Jackie Robinson opened the door for players of all colors and nationalities. There were no players from Mexico. There were no players from Central America. There were no players from Europe at the time. It was all white people, and Jackie broke that door down. Jackie Robinson opened the door for all black athletes, not just in baseball. Think about some of the best athletes in the sports today. There's LeBron James, Steph Curry. Without players like Jackie Robinson, they would never be allowed to play the game. And that would be really sad because the sports would suffer for it. So every year on April 15th, the anniversary of Jackie's debut, all of baseball in the major leagues, the minor leagues, everyone plays his number 42, plays wearing his number 42, in honor of everything that he means to the game of baseball. Jackie Robinson opened the door for athletes of all ages, colors, creeds, and that. So there's still ground to be broken. Who might be the next Jackie Robinson? Well, a couple of years ago, there was a girl named Mo'ne Davis who made waves in the Little League World Series by being an excellent pitcher and a girl. So maybe a girl will be the next big major league player. Who knows? Maybe it's one of you. For this week, I want you to think about some of your sports heroes and think about the road, maybe look up the road they had to take to get there. If you want to learn more about Jackie Robinson, there's so much information you can find. There are some movies that are made about him. Now, they're kind of adult language in a lot of them because that was the language Jackie faced. And I would hate to endure that. I don't think I could be as strong as Jackie Robinson was to endure all that. But I am sure glad that he did because the sport I love, baseball, is made better by Jackie Robinson being a part of it and by all people being a part of it. That is all for today. Enjoy your time.
Now I'm off to the haberdashery for a new hat, as this one's too small for my head. Farewell, farewell, students. We'll see you in the future.